All right, let's talk about something truly unsettling. Imagine this. An experienced hiker, someone who knows the wild better than most of us know our own backyards, just walks into a remote forest and gone, vanishes. It's a mystery that has completely stumped authorities and has a whole community holding its breath. Today, we're going to dig into why.
Right? I mean, this is the real head scratcher. When someone who knows the rules of the outdoors, who respects its power and understands the risks, just disappears without a trace, the easy answers don't really work. And that, is what makes this case so deeply chilling.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Section 1, a hiker vanishes. To really get a grip on this mystery, we first need to understand who we're talking about, the person at the very center of it all. So the person who's missing? This wasn't some weekend warrior who got in over their head. No way. We're talking about a seasoned outdoorsman with years and years of experience. He had a solid plan for a multi-day trip. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was even seen by another hiker way out in a pretty remote part of the park. And then, poof, nothing. The trail just went completely cold. So you're probably thinking, if he was such an expert, what went wrong? Why has it been so incredibly hard to find him? Well, that leads us right into our next section, the unforgiving wilderness. Because in this story, the landscape isn't just a pretty backdrop, it's the biggest obstacle in the entire search. This really lays out the core problem, doesn't it? It's like a battle between a perfectly drawn-up plan and total chaos. On one side, you have the hiker's plan, stick to the trail, camp here, enjoy the view. And on the other, you have reality, rugged, dense forests that swallow you whole, treacherous cliffs, and weather that can just turn on you in an instant, making it impossible to even see your own hand in front of your face. Turns out, the wilderness doesn't really care about your itinerary.
And every single one of those things, the cliffs, the dense forests, the weather, it just makes the search so much harder. It's not just adding difficulty, it's multiplying it. And with every hour that ticks by in these conditions, the odds get longer, and for the family waiting back home, well, you can only imagine how agonizing that is.
Okay, so let's talk about the response. Section 3, the search efforts intensify. Faced with this brutal landscape, you can bet they threw absolutely everything they had at finding him. And when I say everything, I mean everything. You had the pros, the official search and rescue teams, backed up by basically an army of volunteers from the community. They brought out the big guns, technologically speaking, advanced drones with thermal cameras scanning from the sky, teams trying to get a GPS ping from his phone. And the whole time, the community was right there, providing food, water, and supplies to keep everyone going. It was a massive effort. But here's the gut punch. After all of that, all those people, all that tech, all that heart, what did they find in those first crucial days? Absolutely nothing. Zero. Not a single confirmed sign. It was like he just vanished into thin air. The wilderness was holding on to its secrets. All right, so things are looking pretty grim. And that brings us to Section 4, a clue in the valley. Just when it felt like all hope was lost, when the search teams were starting to get really discouraged, something happened. A single discovery that could change everything. Just try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. It's been days. You're exhausted. You've been searching this impossible terrain and you found absolutely nothing to go on. Hope starts to feel, well, pretty thin. And then this. A breakthrough, a single clue, found in a nearby valley that just completely changed the energy and the entire direction of the investigation. So what was it? A piece of clothing. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but after days and days of nothing, it was huge. It was the first physical thing they had found since he disappeared. It wasn't confirmed to be his, not yet, but it was enough to spark some serious hope and give them a new specific area to focus all their energy on. And of course, the big question on everyone's mind was, does this mean he's close? You could just feel this wave of optimism ripple through everyone. But the officials, they had to be cautious. They reminded everyone, look, this is a good lead, but it's just a lead. It's not a solution just yet. Which brings us to where we are now, our final section, the lingering question. Because even with this new clue, even with all this renewed hope and focus, the biggest questions are still totally unanswered. Yeah, looking at this timeline really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? Day 1, he's last seen. Then, silence. The search starts on day 3. All the way to day 7, a massive search finds nothing. It's not until day 10 that they finally find that piece of clothing. Think about that. 9 full days of absolutely nothing. It just shows you how completely the wilderness can swallow up any trace. So now, today, all that hope is zeroed in on this new spot.
This whole thing has really shaken the community. But in a way, it's also brought them together. It's a really tough reminder that the wild is, well, wild. But it's also pretty incredible to see how people rally around each other, all holding on and hoping for the best possible outcome.
And so it just leaves you wondering, right? We think we have the whole world figured out, all mapped out with satellites and GPS. But a story like this is a stark reminder that the wild can still take someone without a trace. It makes you ask, in all that vastness, what other secrets are still out there, just hidden from all of us?